In the summer of 1795, on a small island off the coast of Nova Scotia, Canada, three teenage boys stumbled upon something that would spark one of the longest treasure hunts in human history. The island was called Oak Island. At first glance, it looked completely ordinary. The island was covered with oak trees and surrounded by the cold waters of the North Atlantic. Fishing boats occasionally passed nearby, and small settlements existed along the mainland coast. But the island itself was quiet and mostly untouched. One evening, a teenager named Daniel McGinnis noticed something unusual while exploring the island. Beneath a large oak tree, he saw a strange circular depression in the ground. It looked as if the earth had sunk slightly, forming a shallow pit. Normally, something like this might have been ignored. Natural depressions appear all the time. But Daniel noticed something else. One of the branches of the oak tree above the pit had been cut in a way that suggested something had once been attached to it. The branch had a flat surface, almost as if a rope or pulley system had once been tied there. Daniel began imagining possibilities. What if someone had used the tree as part of a lifting system? What if something had once been lowered into the ground? Or worse, what if something had been buried? The next day, Daniel returned with two friends, John Smith and Anthony Vaughan. Together, the three boys began digging. At first, the excavation seemed ordinary. They dug through soil, rocks, and roots. But about 10 feet down, their shovels struck something unexpected: wood. The boys uncovered a layer of wooden planks placed carefully across the hole. This discovery shocked them. Why would wooden boards be buried 10 feet underground? The boys removed the planks and continued digging. 10 feet deeper, they found another platform, then another. Every 10 feet, the same pattern appeared. Wooden platforms placed carefully across the shaft. Someone had clearly engineered this pit deliberately. This was not a natural hole. Someone had dug it, and they had built it in layers. The boys quickly became convinced they had discovered a buried treasure shaft. Stories of pirate treasure were common along the Atlantic coast. Legends of hidden gold circulated through coastal towns for generations. What if pirates had hidden something here? The boys continued digging until the shaft reached around 30 feet deep. Then something unexpected happened. Water began filling the pit, slowly at first, then faster. Without equipment to remove the water, the boys had no choice but to abandon their excavation. But the story of the mysterious pit quickly spread through nearby communities. Soon, investors organized an expedition to continue digging. The strange shaft became known as the Oak Island Money Pit. Over the next 2 centuries, dozens of expeditions would attempt to uncover its secrets. Each expedition believed a treasure lay beneath the island, and each expedition encountered the same problem: flooding. One of the earliest organized excavations occurred in the early 1800s. Workers continued digging deeper into the shaft, following the same strange pattern of wooden platforms every 10 feet. At around 90 feet deep, they made a discovery that electrified the entire expedition: a stone slab covered in strange symbols. The markings appeared to form some type of coded message. Years later, some researchers claimed to have translated the symbols. According to their interpretation, the message read, "40 feet below, 2 million pounds are buried." Whether this translation is accurate remains debated, but at the time, it triggered a treasure fever. If the message was real, it suggested an enormous treasure lay beneath the island. But when workers attempted to dig deeper, disaster struck. Water suddenly flooded the shaft, not slowly, but violently. Within minutes, the entire pit filled with seawater. Workers rushed to install pumps, but the water continued pouring in faster than they could remove it. Eventually, the excavation had to be abandoned. At first, investigators believed the flooding might have been natural. Perhaps the diggers had struck an underground water source. But later discoveries revealed something far more disturbing. The flooding appeared to be deliberate. Investigators eventually discovered that the money pit seemed connected to underground tunnels leading to the ocean. When the pit reached a certain depth, seawater rushed through these tunnels and flooded the shaft. In other words, the pit had been engineered as a trap. Anyone attempting to dig too deep would trigger a flooding mechanism. Whoever constructed the money pit had designed a sophisticated security system. And that raised an even bigger question. Who had the knowledge and resources to build something like this? Constructing such a system would require advanced engineering knowledge, hundreds of workers, and enormous labor. Yet the evidence suggested someone had done exactly that. And if they had gone to such lengths to protect something, what exactly were they hiding? Over time, many theories emerged. One of the earliest theories involved pirates. During the 17th century, pirates frequently operated along the Atlantic coast. Some historians believe pirate ships may have hidden stolen treasure throughout the region. One name often connected to Oak Island is Captain William Kidd. Kidd was a famous pirate who operated in the Atlantic during the late 1600s. According to legend, he buried enormous quantities of treasure before his capture. Some researchers believe Oak Island might contain that treasure, but there is no direct evidence linking Kidd to the island. Another theory involves a mysterious group known as the Knights Templar. The Knights Templar were a powerful medieval order of warrior monks who became extremely wealthy during the Crusades. In 1307, the order was suddenly disbanded by the King of France. Some historians believe the Templars secretly transported their wealth and artifacts to unknown locations. According to this theory, Oak Island could hide ancient religious relics or historical treasures. But again, no solid evidence has ever confirmed this idea. Despite the uncertainty, the search continued. Throughout the 19th and 20th centuries, numerous companies attempted to reach the bottom of the money pit. Each expedition arrived with new equipment and renewed optimism. And each expedition faced the same obstacles: flooding, collapse, failure. Yet the deeper they investigated, the stranger the mystery became. Artifacts began appearing during drilling operations. Fragments of parchment, pieces of chain, small metal objects. Each discovery hinted that something artificial existed beneath the island. Investigators also discovered something unusual buried beneath the beach: coconut fiber. Coconut trees do not grow anywhere near Nova Scotia. This meant someone had transported the material from tropical regions. Some researchers believe the coconut fiber was used as part of the flood tunnel filtration system. If seawater rushed through the tunnels, the fiber could filter debris and prevent the tunnels from clogging. If this theory is correct, the engineering behind the money pit was incredibly sophisticated. For more than 200 years, no one has managed to reach the bottom. Over time, another legend began spreading. According to local folklore, 7 people must die before the treasure of Oak Island is found. Several deaths have occurred during excavation attempts over the centuries. One of the most tragic incidents happened in 1965. A group of explorers entered a deep shaft to inspect underground tunnels. Suddenly, toxic gas filled the shaft. One man collapsed. Another attempted to rescue him and also collapsed. Soon several others tried to help. In total, 4 men died in the accident. The tragedy shocked the treasure hunting community and strengthened the legend of the island's curse. Despite the dangers, the search continued. In recent decades, modern exploration teams have returned to Oak Island using advanced technologies: ground-penetrating radar, 3D seismic scanning, deep underground sonar mapping. These tools allow scientists to study what lies beneath the island without digging massive shafts. Recent scans have revealed large underground cavities deep beneath the surface. Some researchers believe these chambers may be artificial. If true, someone may have constructed underground structures beneath the island centuries ago. But the truth remains unknown. For more than 200 years, people have searched for answers. Millions of dollars have been spent. Generations of treasure hunters have come and gone. Yet the island continues to guard its secrets. Perhaps one day modern technology will finally reveal the truth. Until then, Oak Island remains one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in history. A mysterious pit, an underground labyrinth of tunnels, and the possibility that somewhere beneath the island lies a treasure waiting to be discovered.